From Software is back, and I'm going to be honest, they're back with a vengeance. A lot of you have already asked me how difficult this is compared to Bloodborne and Dark Souls, and the only thing I can say here is that Miyazaki doesn't want your tears, he wants your mental breakdown. I managed to get a handle with Sekiro for a whole 2.5 hours and I beat 0 bosses. Now that is partly down to wanting to explore as much as possible, but also because I was struggling to beat mini bosses, let alone the big boys. I'll be the first to say that I'm not the best at Soulsborne games, but I've played my fair share, so I do have experience. And everyone who's going to pick up this game better be ready to be wrecked in a variety of ways. The game follows a shinobi known as Sekiro during the Sengoku period, which was a time of social upheaval, political intrigue, and a ton of military conflict. Sekiro awakens to find a samurai from the Ashina clan has not only chopped off his arm, but has also kidnapped his lord. This sort of works out because Sekiro means one-armed wolf, so what a great coincidence that is. What's great about Sekiro is that you don't have to go looking for the story through item descriptions. There are remnant scenes that give you more backstory, as well as eavesdropping. Whilst playing, I tried to fight as many different enemies as possible, and there's a lot of variation including giant birds, cowards hiding behind shields, arsonists, doggos, chained ogres, old ladies, trigger happy enemies, and of course the generals. My experience with the chained ogre didn't go so great. In fact, I died to him a few times.
I don't feel so good.
Once defeated, the cloud that was stopping me from proceeding disappeared, and I was able to head to the next area where another mini-boss was waiting for me. One thing I did find frustrating was when facing the mini-bosses, you had to go around and kill all the other weaker enemies first, otherwise they'd be backstabbing you before you could say Sekiro. When fighting these enemies, it's not the usual Bloodborne and Dark Souls fights, where you deplete their health. Combat in Sekiro revolves around using a katana to attack their poison balance instead, which eventually leads to an opening that allows for a single killing blow. Therefore, you have to be aggressive as fuck, and stealth is your biggest friend here, although it doesn't always work. After getting beaten to death multiple times, I decided to venture on and see what else awaited. I was not disappointed. Coming across this snaky boy had my palms sweating to the point where I fell off a ledge, but that would not stop me, although I really don't recommend running from him, as you can see here. Eventually, I managed to get my revenge by jabbing him in the eye with a pointy end and taking a shower in his blood, which was pretty grim. Anyways, after escaping the snake, it really didn't get any less savage. And then the boss fight got even more intense. One great method you can use with this boss is grappling to him and slashing his horse as you dodge around his hits. I honestly felt like I was facing the Nameless King all over again, but on horseback instead. I literally had one gut this fight before I noped the hell out of there so fast I ended up in the past, 3 years ago to be exact, at Hirata Estate. This area was super tough and full of enemies trying to light you on fire, whether it be with arrows or a torch. I did end up having to speedrun this area a bit due to the time constraints, but I did manage to find the shinobi hunter I was warned of earlier. He literally ruined me in one go and then time ran out so I didn't get another go. One of the main differences this game has compared to the Bloodborne and Dark Souls games is the grappling hook. This allows you to seamlessly traverse the areas, allowing you to travel between different levels. There are a ton of cool mechanics in place to help you out, like being able to upgrade Shinobi's prosthetic, depending on which enemies you're facing.
その牙は形を変えることができるようになる。叩き立てならば打ち砕き、素早き敵ならば仕留め撃つ。仕込んだ任務が増えるだけ、敵を殺す術も増えるじゃろう。
Enemies also drop sen, which is the currency in the game, but instead of collecting them individually, you can just hold square and the coins come to you. This is great if you're like me and you love to loot, but you also get really easily distracted by the next thing that's happening. Harder enemies will even drop an item called prayer beads, and once you collect 4 of these, you can use them to increase Sekiro's physical attributes. However, this wouldn't be a From Software game if there weren't also mechanics in place to make this game even harder. Every time you die, you lose money and XP, which is lost forever. There is no recovery of these. The only chance you have to recover these is through unseen aid, but the more you die, the less likely you are to receive it. Plus, the more you die, the stronger the illness Dragon Rocks gets, and this affects the sculptor in a bad way. I also just wanted to quickly mention how beautiful this game looks, but it sort of goes without saying, and you don't really need me to describe how it looks because you can see it. Each area felt completely different and unique, and I can't wait to explore more once the full game releases. So, that was my Sekiro experience, and trust me when I say this game will not disappoint and it will not be forgiving. One wrong move can lead to an instant death, and there's going to be a lot of deaths. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below, and if you'd be picking up this game to suffer along with me. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.